rich. That's why a film or a TV production will stay in our minds. And so it is, yes, a vehicle for evangelization. You know, I've been harping.
Episode where Jesus has this connection with Mary Magdalene, and he calls her by name, and he says, "You are mine." The girl just wept. And in that moment, she decided not to kill herself. And she felt that God was giving her a reason, giving her a reminder that she was loved, she was valued, she was cared for, that her life meant something. And so she didn't kill herself. And then a year later, we're talking about it, we're all weeping, and then this past summer, I kind of got an update, and she's now working with underprivileged young women herself, trying to inspire them to follow Christ. So on one hand, I hope it goes further than I ever imagined, because I think that will mean that as a society, we need this right now. We need more of God in the culture. We need people to know that they are loved, as different as we all are, that God still loves them. We're all children of God, and that everybody has a place in God's family. And how can we reach out to those who are hurting, and those who are desperate, those who are in pain? And if a TV show is able to kind of help encourage people and make them feel closer to Jesus and more loved by God, then, you know, that's my ministry right there.
Let's talk a little bit about the role of the arts in general in evangelization. You talked about how important the video or visual medium is. I'm wondering what you, Bishop, are hearing about the chosen in conversation. It's got to be part of the conversation now that you're hearing a lot more about. But in general, the role of the arts in evangelization. And you talked about that at some length last night, but
Yeah, I mean, as I say, that's essential to the Catholic tradition, that we use the visual. And you know, the gift of something like cinema, there's a picture, like a Caravaggio is of enormous power. But gosh, you put Caravaggio in motion, and you put Caravaggio with speech, and you put Caravaggio with all the dramatic possibilities of a film. That's why they're so rich. That's why a film or a TV production will stay in our minds. And so it is, yes, a vehicle for evangelization. You know, I've been harping for years now on the rise of the nuns, you know, the disaffiliation from the church.